All right, one of the big stories of the offseason and into training camp so far is that the Lions are going to move Brian Branch from nickel corner to safety. And this is kind of risky, kind of calculated just because Brian Branch was so good last year at that nickel position because he's up close to the line of scrimmage and he's such a good tackler. So it's like, man, for me, it feels, and let me know in the comments, it feels like, come on, is this what we should be doing? Because, and again, it's not the end of the world. He's still gonna be in the box, still making plays, but he was so good at nickel, and we can look at it here. Before we look at this, let me know in the comments, Golden Tate or Amon-Ra St. Brown, who's better? I mean, Golden Tate was seriously good. I know recency bias is gonna be like, dude, St. Brown's so good, but I mean, you could take prime Golden Tate, or St. Brown, who's entering his prime. We don't even know if he's like in his prime, what that even looks like. Like he's literally entering it. So let me know in the comments. All right, here's Brian Branch right here up at nickel. You can see him. He sets the edge, gets out, and makes the tackle. He's so good in that position. Look at, you even got Cam Sutton. Didn't get in on it. He's like, yeah, nope, not in here. Thanks, Cam. You were terrible. Here he is again, right here on the edge. Blows up the edge of this tight end, stays his outside shoulder. He's so quick. Man, I love this guy. So, what does that mean? Who comes out? Well, Brian Branch returns, and here's what the coaches have been saying. Like, all right, he said, I played most of it. He played most of his rookie steps at nickel. Now he's going to go to safety, which will result on him being on the field more, which is interesting because I felt like he was on the field all the time last year, but fine. Like, he needs to be on the field. Basically, you can't take him off. So if you can't take him off the field, then put him in a position where you constantly got to be out there, and that would be safety. He's like, I need to do what I can do to get on the field. Don't worry, man. You're going to get on the field. Right now, safety is where they want to put me. So shoot, I'm going to get it. He still plans on playing nickel, something that the coaches have also said publicly because of his success there last season. So good. But he also noted that safety has a lot more freedom to move around. So what does this mean for who will come out? It'll be Iffy Melifonwu will be the one to come out. So the Lions have insisted that they simply want to have as many good defensive backs on the field as possible, but with so much talent at cornerback, it's hard to exactly see where Melifonwu has the breakthrough as a chance to be a starter. So I just thought it's interesting because it felt like last year the defense struggled there at stretches and then really settled down and gave ourselves a chance at the end of the season when Melifonwu got healthy, came in and played a really big role at safety. And so I think he's really good and I really like him. I think that's more where I'm at with this. Like, I really like him, and it's hard to take him off the field, but it's a great problem because it shows we have depth at corner. We have depth all over the place. Speaking of that, day 8 observations are Ennis Rakestraw joins the ones. So this is what we're talking about, right? So you got Brian Branch, you've got let's go down to it right here. With Branch healthy, the Lions are giving him a lot of exposure at times, even keeping him on the field first and second teams. Kirby Joseph is opposite of him. Melifonwu joins Branch on the second team. So again, we know that if he's going to rotate in, he's going to be a lot of packages for him. It's all good. But it's just interesting to see he would probably be the one out. In the secondary, Rakestraw saw his opportunities expand. He's been a fixture on the outside corner at the second team, but on Thursday he saw snaps with the first unit opposite of Terrion Arnold, as well as on the third team at nickel. For the first time since this regime got here, the secondary is truly deep, and you got a Meek Robertson who can play the nickel. Rakestraw can play the nickel, back him up. Terrion Arnold, Carlton Davis are 1-2. Then you have even guys like Vildor, who, I mean, Vildor is a solid corner, not a starting depend on you number one that he was last year. I mean, golly, he's our number one out there in the NFC Championship game against the San Francisco 49ers. That was tough. That's just like, that's not where we want him. But man, him coming in, rotating, picking up Terrion Arnold if he goes out for a quarter, that sort of thing. Oh my gosh, all day. Emmanuel Mosley, same thing. He's coming back, man, he can be a starter. He could be a good depth piece. He can play. I mean, so now you're not forever we were so thin at corner that one injury and now you're just you got somebody coming out there that you're like, oh no. And of course teams aren't stupid. They go right after them. And it's hard to sustain any success defensively when you have really bad corners and really bad secondary. So now Brian Branch, Kirby Joseph, like let's go there. One of these guys needs to come out for a second. Melanfonwu's in, rotating. It's just, oh man, the depth on the defense is so much better. It's crazy. So let me know in the comments. Do you like the move of Branch going to safety? The more I talk about it, the more I never hated it from the beginning, but I just think that when you're Brian Branch was so good at nickel, and I never noticed the nickel position so much that I did last year because I was like, man, Branch can cover. He can cover running backs, tight ends, wide receivers. He's like a linebacker. He's not overly big, but man, he's fast. He can tackle. It's like, man, this nickel position is so important. I knew it was there, obviously, but I just hadn't really noticed the importance of it until you have a really good player there. So for that player then to go back to safety, it's like, okay, no problem. So it's going to be all good. And I'm excited to see kind of what that looks like. I don't know preseason wise who plays what and where, but it's great. Man, some other things. Offensive coordinator Ben Johnson was talking about the offense, of course, and the running game. And he's like, "What do you like about the running game? What stood out to you?" And he's like, "What stood out to me is our defense," which I thought was really interesting. Our defense hasn't had the personnel in the past. So the personnel's not there. So then you've got Aaron Glenn trying to make things happen. And it's hard. It's hard when you don't have the players. Now, for the first time, you've got Aleem McNeil in his prime, Aiden Hutchinson in his prime. You've got Levi Onwuzurike playing out of his mind. You've got this defensive line. You got DJ Reader. You've got Marcus Davenport. So the defensive line is really good linebackers. I mean, there's so much now. And so the defense is actually, I truly think, is legit. And it's like, what if the defense is in the top half of like every major category? That's all we need. And they got there a little bit at times last year where they're middle of the pack, but man, consistently middle of the pack and above is all we need because of our awesome offense carrying us and taking us and scoring. And then it just kind of, just snowballs on itself. But when the defense is just like, man, gave up a chunk play, gave up this, can't stop this guy, it's tough. So let me know your thoughts in the comments. Again, Amon-Ra St. Brown or Golden Tate, who do you think was better? Let me know your thoughts, and we'll see all of you on the next one.